Hello. So what I'm going to be recording is just a poetry lesson. April is National Poetry Month, so we're just going to go over a couple different types of poems and different kinds of poetry. Okay, so these are some forms of poetry. There are a lot of different forms that can include a couplet, tercet, an acrostic, haiku, concrete poem, free verse, or limerick. These are the lines and stanzas. Most poems are written in lines, so if you see where that first red arrow goes, that is a line. Just go straight across, just like how you normally would write. A group of lines in a poem is called a stanza. So they separate ideas in a poem, and they're almost like paragraphs. Paragraphs normally have multiple sentences, but stanzas just have numerous lines. This is an example of a poem. It's called March by Eleanor Bargion. I can't pronounce that. And it has 2 stanzas. Each stanza, you can see, has 3 different lines. Okay. A couplet is a poem or stanza in a poem that is written in 2 lines, and it usually rhymes. This is an example of a poem by Ogden Nash named The Jellyfish. It says, "Who wants my jellyfish? I'm not Shellyfish." Little punny. Okay, the next type of poem is a tercet. A tercet is a poem or stanza written in 3 lines. It usually rhymes just like the couplet. Lines 1 and 2 can rhyme. Lines 1 and 3 can rhyme, and sometimes all 3 lines rhyme. So this is an example of a tercet by Langston Hughes. We talked about him, called Winter Moon. How thin and sharp the moon is, the moon tonight. How thin and sharp and ghostly white. How slim serves crook of the moon tonight. Tonight, white, and tonight. Again, all 3 of those lines rhymed. Quatrain is a poem or stanza that's written in 4 lines. It's the most common form of a stanza that's used in poetry. It usually rhymes, and it can be written with a variety of different rhyming styles. This is The Lizard by John Gardner. The lizard. The lizard is a timid thing that cannot dance or fly or sing. He hunts for bugs beneath the floor and longs to be a dinosaur. Okay, this is a traditional Cinquain. I can't pronounce that either. Some of these types of poems are hard to pronounce for me, I'm sorry. This type of poem is written in 5 lines that do not rhyme. Traditionally, it has 5 lines that contain 22 syllables. Right below is the pattern that it goes in. This poem is by Paul B. Janesco. It goes, "Oh cat, are you grinning, curled in the window seat, as the sun warms you this December morning?" Okay, the next is another poem. It's a word count Cinquain, and so the syllables like the last one that we had just looked at. It uses the pattern that's listed on this screen. This is an example. There's no found author, so I'm just going to go through and say it. Owl, swift, ferocious, watches for food, soaring through the night. Hunter. Okay, this is a Diamante. It is a 7-line poem that is written in the shape of a diamond. It does not rhyme. It does follow a specific pattern, though. You can use synonyms or antonyms when you're doing this. Right over on the side of the screen, this will show the pattern that you use when you're writing this type of poem. I'm going to skip to the next slide.